You know what time it is, Magazine Moguls. We are counting down the highest magazine sales from April 2024. Before we get into the top 10, let's start off with some honorable mentions that just missed the cut. And we're going to begin with this 1963 Time magazine. This is Muhammad Ali, then known as Cassius Clay. Has been autographed by Cassius Clay, and this ungraded copy sold on eBay for $1,000. This issue from Time magazine precedes Muhammad Ali's first Sports Illustrated cover. From 1965, this is Sports Illustrated, and we have two of the all-time golf legends, Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus. This is a CGC 8.5 copy, and it's sold on eBay for $1,000. 1983, this is the first Sports Illustrated cover for legendary quarterback Dan Marino. Rookies on the rise, Miami's hot quarterback. It's a CGC 9.0 copy, and this sold on Heritage Auctions for $1,200. From 1983, very unique magazine. This is Island magazine, and we've got Madonna on the cover. This is very possibly her first ever magazine cover of any type, and in fact, that's how it was advertised on eBay. I cannot confirm nor deny. Madonna's first album did come out in 1983, so this was obviously very early in her career, and this raw copy sold on eBay for $1,250. From 2002, we have ESPN, the magazine, and you've got LeBron James. This is, of course, the same year that his first Sports Illustrated cover came out, as well as his first Slam magazine cover. And this has been autographed by LeBron James, actually a pretty cool and unique autograph. He signed it as King James 23. It's been authenticated by JSA, and this issue sold on Golden Auctions for $1,385. From 1954, this is the very first issue of Sports Illustrated, issue number 1, featuring Eddie Matthews on the cover. And I've talked many times before about how this issue, issue number 1, is the most frequently graded Sports Illustrated issue. I believe it's been graded now over 800 times, maybe pushing 900. And the reason for that is because Sports Illustrated saved a bunch of these original copies, and they had them stored for years in a warehouse, and they eventually sold them off as collector's items. And this is exactly what it looked like whenever they were bought as collector's items, in case you've never seen one before. It came in this nice little leather binder, and it had a certificate of authenticity, and it had the actual magazine there tucked into one of the folders. And so if you've never seen before, like I said, how these magazines actually looked whenever they were resold decades later, this is exactly what they looked at. And this copy right here sold on eBay for $1,425. From 1953, it is the iconic issue number 1 from Playboy, featuring Marilyn Monroe, and this ungraded copy sold on eBay for $1,458. From 1976, it is the Dragon magazine, issue number 1. Pretty much the first magazine publication featuring Dungeons and Dragons. And this ungraded copy sold on eBay for $1,469 with 15 bids. From 1953, we have Dell Baseball Annual, and this is issue number 1, the premier issue for that publication, featuring the great Mickey Mantle pretty early in his career. And it's a beautiful CGC 9.0 copy, sold on eBay for $1,500. Staying in the Time Inc. family, this is Life magazine from 1964, and you've got the Beatles, and this one has actually been autographed by John Lennon. Not a great autograph. It's in black marker right over his black shirt, so kind of tough to see, but it has been authenticated by PSA, and this sold on eBay for $1,500. From 1986, this is Sports Illustrated, and it is the first and only Sports Illustrated cover for soccer legend Diego Maradona. It's a CGC 9.4, if I'm not mistaken. That is tied for the highest graded copy of this particular issue. And this one sold on Heritage Auctions for $1,500. This one is so cool as a kid who grew up in the 90s watching Power Rangers. This is TV Guide from 1995, and you've got Jason David Frank, also known as Tommy, also known as the White Power Ranger, and it has been autographed by Jason David Frank, who, by the way, passed away not all that long ago. The autograph has not been authenticated, but regardless, if this is legit, it is super cool. Sold on eBay for $1,500. From 1991, this is Hoop Magazine. We have the great Michael Jordan. It has been autographed by MJ, authenticated by PSA, sold for $1,600 on eBay. And here's Michael Jordan again from 1984. This is his second Sports Illustrated cover, playing for Team USA in the Los Angeles Olympics. This is a CGC 8.0 newsstand copy, sold on eBay for $1,850.95. From 1953, we've again got the legendary Mickey Mantle, and this is Sport Magazine. It is a CGC 8.5 copy and is sold on Heritage Auctions for $1,860. I believe this might be Mantle's first Sport Magazine cover. This precedes his first Sports Illustrated cover by 3 years. It is Steve Prefontaine, legendary runner, America's distance prodigy. This is a very collectible issue right here. It's Sports Illustrated from 1970. This is a CGC 8.0 copy. It is Prefontaine's first and only Sports Illustrated cover as a freshman for the Oregon Ducks, and this sold on eBay for $2,001. From 1921, Who's Who in Baseball? Well, Babe Ruth was definitely Who's Who, and this is a Babe Ruth cover. It has been autographed by Babe Ruth, authenticated by MDA Forensic Examiners. This came from the Jacob Rupert estate, who was the owner of the Yankees during Babe Ruth's playing days. So this actually comes with provenance and definitely appears to be legit, although I'm not familiar with the authentication. But very cool copy here. Obviously not in great shape. Looks like it's being held together by some sort of tape, but it sold on eBay for $2,025. 1992, KO Magazine, two of the greatest boxers of all time. You have Mike Tyson, you have Muhammad Ali, autographed by both, authenticated by Beckett, sold on eBay for $2,100. From 1946, this is Leader Magazine, and you have Norma Jean, better known as Marilyn Monroe, aged only 19 when this magazine cover was released, and this sold ungraded on eBay for $2,125. 1953, again, it is Mickey Mantle on the cover of Sport Magazine. We saw this one just a few moments ago, graded as a CGC 8.5. And how about this? This one ungraded, but including an autograph that's been authenticated by PSA, selling for higher than the 8.5 copy. This one sold for $2,220 on Heritage. All right, let's roll on into the top 10. And the number 10 highest selling magazine from last month was this 2002 Sports Illustrated first SI cover for LeBron James. It has been autographed by LeBron, authenticated and slabbed by Beckett, and it sold on eBay for $2,521.66. From 1974, this is High Times Magazine. I've seen this magazine quite a bit over the years, this specific issue. Obviously a pretty collectible issue. I think it's maybe appeared on my lists once or twice. And this was the very first print run that sold for $1. And supposedly this first print run was limited to only 1,000 copies. And this ungraded copy right here sold on eBay for $2,800. Number 8, Playboy magazine from 2007. This is Kim Kardashian. It has been autographed by Kim Kardashian, plus a little XO. It's also been autographed by Hugh Hefner, both authenticated by Beckett. This one sold on Golden Auctions for $2,806. We have a two-way tie at number 6, and first up is this Sports Illustrated from 1998, featuring Michael Jordan and some other Bulls teammates. You got Ron Harper, you got Scottie Pippen, and it's been autographed by Michael Jordan, authenticated and slabbed by Beckett. This one sold on Heritage Auctions for $2,888. Coming in at number 6, we got another Michael Jordan autographed magazine. This one's from 1997. Are the Bulls so good They're bad for the NBA, featuring little caricatures there of Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Grant Hill, Patrick Ewing, and who's that at the bottom? Is that looks like either Gary Payton or Sean Kemp? I can't tell for sure. But signed by MJ, again slabbed by Beckett, and this one also sold on Heritage Auctions for $2,888. Coming in at number 5, we've got Michael Jordan's first pro cover from 1984. It is a CGC 7.5 newsstand copy, sold on eBay for $3,546. There have been 98 newsstand copies of this issue graded. At the 7.5 level, it is a pop 9. There are 41 copies graded higher. At number 4, we've got our 4th consecutive Michael Jordan magazine, although this is a not so often seen cover. It's the Sporting News Pro Basketball Yearbook from 1989 to 1990, and this one has been autographed by Michael Jordan. Really cool cover shot there, and authenticated by Beckett, sold on eBay for $4,500. Number 3, it's another iconic issue number 1, and this one is Nintendo Power from 1988. This is a CGC 9.2 copy and sold on eBay for $5,000. There have been 533 copies of this issue graded. There are 12 9.2s, and there are 15 copies graded higher. At number 2, it's another Marilyn Monroe Playboy issue number 1 from 1953. This is a CGC 7.0, sold on eBay for $12,000. There have been 370 copies of this issue graded. This is a pop 20 at the 7.0 level, and there are 34 copies graded higher. Coming in as the number 1 highest selling sports magazine from last month, it is the great legendary Willie Mays Hayes from 1955. His first Sports Illustrated cover. Also featured on the cover are Leo DeRocher, his manager at the time, who is also a Hall of Famer, and Lorraine Day, who was the wife of Leo DeRocher, as well as a famous actress. And this is a beautiful CGC 9.6 copy. This one sold on Heritage Auctions for $16,200. There have only been 44 newsstand copies of this issue graded, and this is a pop 5 with only 1 copy graded higher. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe. I also appreciate likes and comments, and until the next video, we'll see you next time.